Hey guys, it's Rebecca and today I'm going to be doing the Book Lover Survival Tag. I've seen this book tag going around BookTube recently and I decided that I was going to do it myself. Basically this tag is inspired by a map for Rough Girls, which is about two sisters who are stranded on a deserted island and they have to figure out how to get off the island. And the tag is to pick the 5 to 8 books that you would want to bring with you on a deserted island. So today I have 8 books that I'm going to be talking about that I could not live without and that I would want to bring on a deserted island with me. The first one is The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. I had a hard time figuring out which Rick Riordan book that I wanted to bring with me because I love them all and they're all so wonderful. And it's been a while since I've read all of the older Rick Riordan books, so I can't really remember exactly what each of them are about. But I decided to bring The House of Hades because I am pretty sure this has a large focus on Nico, and Nico is one of my favorite characters of all time. And I also really like the dynamic of Percy and Annabeth while they're in Tartarus in this book. So I decided to bring The House of Hades, and it's a thick book, so it would take me a while to get through compared to the Percy Jackson books, which are usually shorter. The next book I have is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. I wanted to bring at least one classic with me because I wanted to diversify up the list of books that I brought, and Jane Eyre is one of my favorite classics. I've only read it once when I read it for school, but I loved it and I loved the story of it, and I know I would definitely enjoy rereading it over and over while I was stranded on a deserted island. The next book I have is Salt to the Sea by Rhoda Sepetys. I listened to this book last Christmas break and I loved it so much. I thought that the story was fantastic. I enjoyed seeing the different perspectives of everyone who was going to the Wilhelm Gustloff, and I know I would definitely want to reread this book over and over, and my life would not be complete if I did not have this book in my life. So that is why I would definitely want to bring this book with me onto a deserted island. The next book I have is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak. This is a recent favorite of mine. I talked about in one of my previous videos about how this book was the first one to ever make me cry, so I'll leave that link down below for you in the description box. But The Book Thief is such a marvelous book. The story is told so well, the characters are so well developed, and I definitely could not live without this book. And even though it's a recent read, it has quickly become one of my favorites, and I definitely would want to have this book with me if I was limited to only 8 books that I could read. The next book is The Maze Runner by James Dashner. This is one of my all-time favorite books. It's definitely my favorite dystopian book that I've read. The first one because I really love the Glade and seeing everyone interact with the Glade. I really love the Death Cure and I really love the Fever Code. I decided to pick The Maze Runner because I think there's something special about picking up a first book in a series that makes me really want to take this book with me on a deserted island. The next book is The Goblet of Fire by J.K. Rowling. I didn't know which Harry Potter book I wanted to bring because obviously I have to bring at least one Harry Potter book. I like all of them, but I think Goblet of Fire is definitely my favorite book. I really enjoy the games that they have to play. I enjoy a lot of things about this book, and it's one of the bigger books, so it'll keep me occupied while I'm on the deserted island. The next book I have is The Raven King by Maggie Stiefvater. Obviously, if you know anything about me, I love Maggie Stiefvater's books, and so I would definitely have to pick one of her books to bring with me on a deserted island, and I decided to bring The Raven King because I think that this conclusion is so wonderful. So I lent the first one to my friend, so I don't have that one to show today. But anyway, I chose The Raven King because this conclusion is amazing. I read it in a weekend because I couldn't put it down, and I know that I would definitely get lots of enjoyment from rereading this. And the last book that I'm going to bring on my deserted island is The Complete Sherlock Holmes by Arthur Conan Doyle. I own about 11 or 12 copies of Sherlock Holmes. It's kind of my obsession. But I decided to bring this one because it is all the novels and short stories in one volume. I have to limit myself to only 8 books. I managed to bring the one that has all of them in it. And this one is so pretty. It has this cover and then it has gold edges, the back. And I just think this book is so gorgeous, and it would definitely look good on a deserted island. And it also has all the stories and novels, so I would be able to have access to all the Sherlock Holmes while I'm stranded on the deserted island. And that is all the books that I would bring on a deserted island. It was kind of hard just to pick 8 books out of all the ones that I own, because how can you just pick 8 of your favorite books? But those are the books that I would choose, and let me know down in the comments below what books that you would want to bring, whether you agree with any of the books that I chose. And until my next video, happy reading!